Welcome. It is the Ski Bum Podcast, and it is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, what's up?
I'm feeling kind of special today.
Feeling special?
I don't know what it is. I think it's I'm getting close to vacation. Going to be doing some big mountain skiing. It's going to be fun.
By the time this podcast is released, you could be on the snow.
I could be.
Think about that.
I believe they were getting snow today, next week, Monday.
Look at that.
That would be nice.
And a happy 2023 to everybody. This is our first episode of the new year. We didn't record one last week. There was holiday stuff. We were kind of spending time with family. We were out and about, so
Avoiding family too.
avoiding family. You know how it is.
Whatever you got to do.
So hopefully you're on the slopes. You were getting some snow. You're doing some skiing. You're keeping it safe because Mario's going away. A lot of excitement, good things. This is going to be a very special Ski Bum Podcast episode because there's been a lot of very sad, bummery stuff that has been happening in the past week or so, past week or 2 weeks. And we got to talk about those stories. It can't all be fun and backflips into Corbett's and apres with topless women.
It could be.
It could be, but to every yin, there's yang. So we're all about the yang today.
It's all yang.
It's all yangs. But thanks so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Find us on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped, YouTube at Ski Bum Podcast. We have a shop. Not too much in there. There's some stuff, few things, big sales. This shirt still. We got a couple. Remember I told you I bought a few extras for the slackers. We got our red boots. I got a couple more left.
Nice.
skibumpodcast.com/shop. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Go to your favorite podcasting apps, rate and subscribe. We really appreciate that. We should have our sponsor back next week, so we'll do that. For now, Mario, let's kick it off the way we always do.
It's time for Après Today.
Boom. So après today, I'm taking it back to when I remember skiing in the Alps last, which has been a while. And last time it's kind of connecting the past to the future, I think.
You guys were there right as things were getting crazy in January, February 2020, right?
2020 was January. And it was, just before February is when everything closed down, I think. So we got back and we were there and in the Piedmont region. So that's where COVID was. They were saying was really bad too. I don't know why, but there was something going around. They said there was a stomach bug going around at the resort. So I'm like, that sounded suspect.
Mi scusi.
So I brought it back. I thought about Negroni, but it was more of a beer night. So I went with a nice Peroni.
Peroni to Negroni.
Peronis to Negronis. But yeah, so I actually have to go for blood work tomorrow. So I didn't open the champagne. I was going to really do like some French champagne, but
Mr. Fancy.
So
we did on New Year's Eve, my wife and I was ready to phone it in, but somehow, you know what it was? It was funny. We had a bottle that she got for her birthday last year. So a year and a half ago. I remembered at like 1 o'clock. I'm like, you know what? I'm putting the champagne I'm going to put it on ice. I'm going to put it in the fridge to cool it down. Cause usually you wait, like you want to have the champagne, you forget, you got to like put ice in it or something ghetto. I actually remembered it was that, I don't know how to pronounce it. Vouvette.
Vive Clicquot.
There you go.
That stuff.
That stuff. It had the rosé with a little special jacket that it had on it. It was all fancy.
I like the rosé.
Very good. It was actually very good. I'm not a big champagne fan, but we killed the whole bottle.
That's good.
Yeah, it was good. You know, and again, I was ready. I was so prepared to be I'm going to bed at 10:30 guy.
Dude, I was asleep by 10 o'clock.
Dude, I was going to be that guy. And then we put on, so the kids are a pain in the butt and they didn't go to bed on time because they were all jacked up on sugar and stuff. We ended up putting on Trading Places because, I mean, I don't know any better New Year's Eve film than that.
That's all New Year's right there.
That's the best New Year's Eve movie that I know of.
Oh, yeah.
So we watched Trading Places. We enjoyed it's so funny, like the warnings now at the beginning of the movie. It's like language, nudity, blackface, so-and-so. It's like there's like 15 different things that are a problem in this movie.
Yeah, it's pretty. Oh yeah, there was blackface in there, wasn't
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd was
Yeah.
just like a Jamaican.
I remember. That's right. He acted like he dressed up as a Jamaican guy. God damn, I forgot about that.
The movie is so funny. It's
Boom,
so
ba, boom,
it's
boom, da,
still
boom,
so
boom, ba,
good.
boom, doo, ba.
Yeah.
Lionel James from Cameroon.
Joseph.
Lionel Joseph. That's who it was.
So good.
Oh, I gotta watch that again.
So if any of you young bloods haven't watched Trading Places, find
classic.
your wokest friend and go watch this movie because they're gonna crap themselves and it's gonna be hilarious.
The wokest friend, and that's
Yeah.
Donkey, man.
They'll get very uncomfortable very often. It's that great. I'm gonna rip out your eye and piss on your brain.
You think they'll ever do a redo of that?
They will, and it's gonna suck.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna have like Zac Efron and something.
Zac Efron as Dan Aykroyd, yeah.
It's Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy is Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, right. He looks great. He looks great. Dan
Still
Aykroyd
looks good.
not so great.
Yeah.
Man.
It would be like
So watch that. Drank our champagne. Yeah, it was. And then again,
nice.
like my wife's like, let's put on the ball drop. And of course, I put the ball drop on, and all I did was just get angry at everything I saw on TV. I'm like, why is everything got to be? It's like the Kia ball is dropping, and the Planet Fitness fucking toast
Yeah.
of 2023. It's like everything is like just.
You can't just have a toast.
commercialism.
It's got to be a sponsored toast.
Yeah.
It's horrible. The
Ugh.
Ski Bum Podcast. Toast.
Plumpkin of the night. I don't know.
The Plumpkin.
It's the first Plumpkin of 2023, sponsored by skibumpodcast.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
Weighing in at an amazing 2 ounces. This Plumpkin.
Yeah, well, there you go. So you got your Peroni. You doing all right?
Yeah. I drink a lot of champagne, though. I got to say, my
Yeah.
wife and I were like, I think we might have a problem. On the weekends, we have literally, if you go to my
Make
fridge
it rain every weekend.
at any time, I have 3 bottles of cold champagne. Right now, I got 4 because I have a rosé in there too.
Mhm.
And on the weekends, we'll go through that in a day
God
sometimes.
bless you.
It's horrible. We start in the
bless
morning. I mean, this is day drinking, though, at its finest.
That's a beautiful thing. You know, it's you can do that. So you're at the time in your life, you can do that. So God bless you.
Until I drop dead.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's a Wednesday when we're recording this, and you know we've talked about it in the past. I'm sure you guys, the listeners, have noticed too. When we podcast on Fridays and Saturdays, things get a little more intense, a little more silly.
I think that might have to be our next podcast because that's a magical one.
Oh, it is a magical one. It'll be 300.
Big 300. Oof.
Like this is Sparta 300. It's gonna be 300.
Yeah.
But so it's a Wednesday, and I will tell you, December. And I talked about last episode. December was just brutal. From Thanksgiving on, everybody was sick, crapping my
Damn.
pants, getting fat, not working out. And then, of course, the one weekend we weren't sick. We went to my wife's family to make cookies for Christmas, and of course, I ate like 1 billion cookies that weekend.
Damn.
Got sick, stomach virus, crap my pants. It just got, and then like Christmas, you're like, I'm gonna go eat like a fat bastard because I'm celebrating being alive.
That was like a whole synopsis from Thanksgiving to now.
Dude, it was just the whole month was just like fat fuckery and
just
like
eat, shit yourself, and now you're back
not
to
enough working out, fat fuckery, and I don't want to be disgusting anymore. Like even New Year's Day, like we just like
Did you make friends with Ben and Jerry's again?
No, dude, I haven't touched ice cream in a while.
Really?
But remember I bought 4 Stolens.
I know
Number 3 is almost done, so we still have 1 on the ice right now. That's staying
it's
cool.
transference. You're eating Stollen like it's ice cream now.
Yeah, but Christmas cookies, like I can't not eat 1 billion Christmas cookies. Like it's just not even possible. And like I said, at Christmas, we went to my wife's family and we just like had epic dinner, and then we stayed over the next night. And then the 26th, like I had cheesecake for dessert, I had breakfast dessert, I had lunch dessert, and I had dinner dessert.
Nice.
And it was cheesecake. My wife made a white chocolate cranberry cheesecake with a chocolate graham cracker crust that was out of this world.
Wow.
And I must have eaten 9,000 calories worth of that cheesecake
Just
on top of
cheesecake.
cookies and like the usual stuff. Oh,
Wow.
and she made cinnamon rolls. She made homemade cinnamon rolls for Christmas morning with brown butter, caramel frosting. Again,
Nice.
I can't resist that. I'm only
That's
human,
homemade
man.
too. You gotta just do it.
I went to town. I went to absolute town. So like after the New Year's, like let's get pizza. So we ordered 3 pizzas because our neighbors came over. We just again, How do you stop yourself? You just got to go cold turkey. Like yesterday I started just cold ass turkey. And now I'm thinking, what am I going to have for the podcast? Like, I don't want to hit it too hard either because it's Wednesday and I got a lot of stuff going on. So I went back to my weird decision that I made back in September to buy those Athletic Brew near beers.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. I would groan at myself as well. Mike Brian from 2015 is groaning so hard right now, like you've no idea.
I went to a beer and bike ride at a brewery, started and ended at a brewery, and they had the Athletic Brewing Company represented there. And I'm like, why?
Did you peg him with beers?
You realize we came to do a bike ride that starts and ends at a brewery, like not an athletic brewery, but a brewery.
Nobody wants to be sober after a bike ride.
It's very weird.
Right? But I will tell you, if you've given up all hope on life, this is delicious. It's not bad.
Which one is that?
It's like drinking like wheat juice or something. This is the golden, the upside dawn.
Golden shower.
Golden. There's a little bit of golden shower in each one of these. It's so funny though. I'm used to like regular, like those giant, big old double IPA cans. So when I hold this can, I feel like I'm Andre the Giant.
It's like a baby can.
Anybody want a peanut? But yeah, it's 45 calories. Yeah, it actually doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I think about this beer? When I bought these beers, do you ever remember a time in your life when you saw perhaps a female, and maybe like college? I'm thinking of my specific example. You see a girl, and instantly you've created a profile for her. You're like, oh, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's gonna be the mother of my children, she's gonna do this and that. And then you go and you actually like talk to her or see her up close, and she has like a Guns N' Roses tattoo between her boobs, and she talks like just fuck every other word, and you're like, wow, this is not what I expected this to be. This is like, I've painted this picture of what this would be, and this is not anything like that drawing.
Exactly.
That's kind of what this beer was. I was expecting to be blown away by this because I'm delusional and stupid, and I don't know, watch those Lindsay Lohan Christmas ski movies. And this
you're sitting there. This was crafted the same way with the.
This is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's just a sad. I mean, it's all right. Like I don't want to trash it either.
Like a wisp of a real beer.
It kind of tastes okay. Like it's not gross, but it's
How
just.
about if you put the weed additive in there? I
don't know. Like, it's so funny. You read all these like New Year's stuff, and everyone's like, you know what? If you want to lose weight, first thing I do, you gotta cut out alcohol. Zero drinks. And people are like, I cut out booze and I'm so happy and blah blah blah. I saw one post that someone's like, what you should do is definitely don't cut out alcohol because and you get like 8 reasons. And number 1 is like, you can't trust someone who doesn't drink.
Yeah.
And just started like, people, if you don't drink, like your life is boring. You don't do cool stuff. It was kind of like a spoofy post, but still kind of funny. But that's what this beer is. It's like if I said to you, I'm never drinking a beer again, I'm only drinking these, you'd be like, why?
Well,
what's in your closet? What are you doing?
I have had on the show the those additives, the THC additives, the marijuana additives. You put that in there, and then you're just drinking a non-alcoholic marijuana beer.
It's true.
See, that would be good for that.
You're freeing your mind.
There's a place for everything. That's what true. I think.
Amen to that. Like if I want to go drive around with the kids, like I'll drink a couple of these in the car.
Yeah.
Are
you gonna be like the dipshit on that commercial? Was the Heineken Zero, and he's sitting there, and the cop comes up to the car and he smiles. He looks at the cop. He's like, "Look." And the cop says, "Yeah, look." And he's parked under a no parking sign or something like that. And then he beat him with the nightstick, and
that's true.
They panned out, and that was it. Fade to black.
Yeah, and scene. So yeah, Athletic Brewing. God bless you. All right, with that,
let's go to ski news.
First off, there was an article in the Durango Herald recapping 2 pretty terrible incidents that just happened in the past couple of weeks in Colorado. So 2 people have died in slides in December, and avalanche risk remains considerable after storms. Heavy and wet snow blanketing a weakened snowpack has spiked avalanche danger across Colorado's high country. The Colorado Avalanche Information Center issued a considerable avalanche warning, level 3 of 5, across the state for Wednesday and Thursday, and 2 avalanche-related deaths have already occurred this season. Andy Feinstein, president of the University of Northern Colorado, and his son were skiing in the backcountry beyond the Breckenridge ski area on New Year's Eve when both were buried in an avalanche. Feinstein told the Greeley Tribune he was able to free himself from the snow and call 911 for help. Rescue teams found his son, Nick, 22, dead at 3:11 p.m., according to a preliminary report from CAIC. I couldn't even imagine as a father what that must feel like, knowing, like, to have just gone out skiing with your son and have him die. Like, I can't imagine what that guy must feel like right now. It's absolutely horrible. I don't have all the details on the story, but I was talking to our buddy Nick. Shout out to Nick. He was out in Colorado, and he from what he was saying, it sounds like those guys were just doing like a side country, I don't know, tour, jaunt, whatever you want to call it, and they didn't have all their gear with them. Like, they didn't have beacons, they didn't have shovels, they didn't have.
They figured it's close enough that we're safe enough.
It's not going to happen to me, right?
Yeah.
So that's the story on that one. And then there was another story, and this happened December 26th. There was an avalanche near Berthoud Pass, which caught 4 people and fully buried 2 in the snow, CAIC reported. A 44-year-old snowboarder, the father of the other 3, was buried and killed in the steep nitro chute on the west side of Berthoud Pass. The CAIC risk level for that area on December 26th was moderate, a level 2 of 5. Backcountry skier was buried and killed the same area on the same day in 2020, marking the 4th fatality in the season that would eventually see 12 backcountry travelers killed in avalanches. So I read the full CAIC report on this incident, and it talks about how they kind of ducked off from Winter Park. His father and 3 kids. One was a skier, one had a split board, 2 had snowboards, and it kept talking about how they were creating a big jump in that area. And there had also been another avalanche that was triggered like an hour or so earlier. And they don't know if this group saw that other avalanche to kind of give them the indication that maybe the pack isn't as stable as they think.
Yeah.
So they had been building a ramp there, and they were doing some jumps off of it. And then, they kind of go through the whole, we'll put the link in the show notes to the CAIC incident report, and it is extremely detailed with pictures, and it's incredible the work they do out there, that the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, when they do any sort of reporting on these. So I guess they the 2 avoided the avalanche, and the 2 were buried. So the 2 who were free of it, they turned on their receivers and they went searching. They found the other brother. They dug him out enough where he could breathe, and then they went searching for the father. The problem was the 2 receivers of the 2 buried were so close that they had trouble finding the father. And now, again, hindsight, Monday morning quarterback, you can look at this and go, okay, if they had turned off the first brother's receiver, it would have made it easier to find the father. But when you're in that sort of panic mode, time is of the essence. You're just adrenaline. And think about like teenage you, how you would handle that situation. I mean, all you'd think is just shovel, like just as much work as effort, as crazy to try to find your dad. And unfortunately, they got to him a little bit too late. They said he was face down, facing downhill. So he must have kind of gone forward, and probably, I think it was only 1.5 feet of snow, which again, you don't think is much, but if it's a wet packed snow,
or if he's knocked out,
he's not. There you go. Exactly. Could have hit his head, been knocked out. Maybe like messed up his arm. It couldn't dig himself out. Like, you just don't know what happened to get to that point. But eventually the rescue teams, and I think there was like 2 or 3 other groups of backcountry travelers that got to the the area too, and were trying to do whatever they could to help. But it's just such a an awful story, and there's you just you kind of think about like how you would have handled it, and kind of just take these people's unfortunate situations and take that knowledge and try to apply it to when you go out there and try to not make the mistakes that they made. So stay safe out there, get out there, have fun, but just be smart.
Yeah, everybody just stay safe if you can.
That's all you can do.
All right, next up, some more disturbing news. Park City Resort, Utah patroller killed after tree falls on chairlift. So additional details emerged about a tragic incident at Park City Mountain in Utah on Monday when an employee was killed after a tree fell on a chairlift. So the employee was an on-duty ski patroller, and he was 29, riding the shortcut chair when a large pine tree fell onto the chairlift itself and the cable, which caused some oscillating of the chair itself. And they don't really know if the safety bar was down when this all happened, but the employee fell 25 feet. But after a closer investigation, they estimated it was closer to 50 feet. And then I guess he was kind of buried, and now they're investigating, like, should the tree have been there? Like, they're supposed to, cut him down if they are within a certain area of the lift. So there's a lot of investigating going on. I think they're trying to figure out if somebody's responsible or what's going on. So
yeah, they still keep updating this because this only happened on Monday. We're getting recording this on Wednesday.
Yeah.
The one thing that's strange too is, so according to Robert Miles, traffic and safety director at the Utah Department of Transportation, ski lifts should have a 5-foot clearance around them when they're operating from vegetation, tree branches, trees, anything of that sort. Trees can tower above and within the radius of a lift. Only the ones that are dying or look as if they are about to fall need to be cleared. That's kind of a vague definition.
And it's an interpretation. So you're going to have to, what's your definition of that? Everybody's going to have their own interpretation, I would imagine. So
yeah,
they leave it like that, I'm sure, for a reason.
Oof. Well, yeah, it's like that vagueness that can keep you from being sued.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the pine tree fell, hit the line, bounced him off and out. So yeah, it makes you wonder, did he have the bar down?
Well, and then they're trying to figure out, did he die from getting hit by the tree or asphyxiation when he went face first into the snow or something? Like, it's weird. So they're doing all sorts of investigations on it.
Yeah, I mean, and depending too on what kind of bar setup they have there, you gotta wonder, like, if it's one of the ones where you have the footrest on there and the tree hit the line, would that have ejected him? Or would, if you're sitting on that, like if your feet are on the footrest, that's keeping the bar down. It's almost locking you in place.
Yeah.
Like, could you still have ejected head first if that was down? Again, it's Monday morning quarterbacking. It doesn't matter at this point either.
Right.
But it makes you wonder, like, how it happened and could it have been avoided?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy accident.
It just sucks. And then hits just keep coming.
Yeah.
Rally driver Ken Block dies in snowmobile accident. So Ken Block, famed professional rally driver and the driving force behind the Hoonigan brand, has passed away at the age of 55 in a snowmobile accident on Monday. Block was a transcendent action sports star who competed in skateboarding, snowboarding, and motocross events during his storied career. He was also famous for his Gymkhana series of extreme autosports videos, and he co-founded the DC Shoes brand. Hoonigan posted the following statement to the brand Instagram account. It's with our deepest regrets that we can confirm that Ken Block passed away in a snowmobile accident today. Ken was a visionary, a pioneer, and an icon, and most importantly, a father and a husband. He will be incredibly missed. Please respect the family's privacy at this time while they grieve. His most recent video on his YouTube channel is the final part in a series where Block builds a drift car with his 16-year-old daughter, Leah. TMZ reported Block had posted images of him snowmobiling in Utah to his personal Instagram page earlier on Monday. The Wasatch County Sheriff's Office posted to social media that Block was riding a snowmobile on a steep slope when the snowmobile upended, landing on top of him. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. Sheriff's Office also shared that Block was alone at the time, but had been riding with a group.
Wow.
Like, I mean, I was, you were saying before we started recording, I was just watching the latest Gymkhana like maybe 3 weeks ago. The one where he's in Vegas with the electric Audi, like screeching around. You know, he just seemed like he was one of those like indestructible, godly, you know, like superstars. You know, just the way, you know, he's done a couple of those ones where he's out, like they had like a Ford F-150 or Raptor with the tracks on there, cruising around, pulling snowboarders. Like they've done all kinds of stuff. And you know, you think you're just cruising on a snowmobile, like considering how insane the things he has done, and as well as, you know, had no incidents. I mean, how can you think this is going to happen? But that's, again, stuff does happen. Just when you think it won't happen to you, that's when it happens to you.
Boom.
And to have like, you know, 3 kids and a wife at home, like that's the worst. And again, and I feel even because my daughter's name is Leah too, so that actually hits even harder to me. So to the Block family, like just, you know, you know, like you just say sorry. Like, what else can you even say at this point?
Yeah. Whew. All right. Speaking about another unfortunate thing happening to a famous person, Jeremy Renner was run over by a snowcat while trying to dig out a car. So he was critically injured by his own 7-ton snow machine. So serious injury. Yeah, I can't speak today. Could have been that gummy before. Serious injuries. Actor Jeremy Renner suffered while using his snowcat tractor to free a snowbound motorist on a private mountain road near Lake Tahoe appear to be a tragic accident. So sheriff in Reno said. So 51-year-old Star was seriously hurt when he was run over by his own snowcat after using it to free a vehicle driven by a family member that became stuck in 3 feet of fresh mountain snow on New Year's Day. Man, that's a pain in the ass right there. Like Happy New Year. Just got run over New Year's Day.
Well, it's interesting because he like I said, he was trying to help somebody out. And then
I guess member, it says,
and then it started to roll and he tried to climb back in. And then he got run over. Oof. So I wonder, because you know, we've all seen those treads, like they're pretty serious. I wonder if he
didn't have it. Yeah, or if he didn't have it in gear and it just kind of kept going.
I have 2 additional questions regarding this whole thing. Number 1, do you need some sort of license to drive a snowcat? Now, I know we've seen the courses where if you're at a resort, you gotta pass you gotta do like a 40-hour, you know, safety and almost like not like a CDL, but there is some sort of requirements, maybe like a forklift operator license, like that, like a similar thing you would need if you were doing it commercially. And 2, how much is a used piston bully? Or new? I don't know what Jeremy Renner. I mean, you know, he's got Avengers money. So, and also he's very into real estate. He's got a bunch of, you know, real estate stuff that he does on the side. Interesting factoid.
Yeah, they have a description. They say, after successfully towing his personal vehicle from a stuck location, he got out to speak to his family member, and the piston bully started to roll. And in an effort to stop it, he attempted to climb back into the driver's seat, and he basically probably slipped, and that's where he got run over.
It's harsh, man. Oof. That is rough. So I'm looking here on machinerytrader.com.
I don't think an arrow would have been able to save him. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know how many arrows he can fire off in a very short period of time.
It's a flaw in his Avengers character.
Also too, like, could he have hotwired that snowcat? Is that why he had it? I mean, it's not his. You know, that we're referencing the town now when they're doing they're doing bank robberies back then.
Yeah, in the town.
town. But they'd also stole cars. That was part of their thing, right? They call the rich people who moved in toonies because they
Yeah.
all had the fancy Blaupunkt radios.
Toonies.
For all you
Nice.
folks who remember aftermarket radios.
That's right.
So here we go. Here's an older piston bully for 125,000.
Damn.
That's like a 2012. Like I want to see like what's like a 2022 piston bully going for. It's really hard to find pricing. These are all in Germany. I'm not buying one in Germany. Machinio.com. But a new pit, a PB 400. Here we go. This one's like 64,000. It's a 2011. I don't want a 2011. 10,000 hours. I want a new.
No new one.
Like, do you think Jeremy Renner's buying a new one though?
I think why
would he buy a used one?
did
He's
he do
rich.
it? Did he do an ad for Piston Bullet? You never know. You get a little deal, right?
Perhaps like those Japanese commercials where like Arnold Schwarzenegger is selling like body lotion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one of those.
One of those, exactly, right? Again, 1996 piston bully. These are like old throwback ones. Now the throwback ones, I got to tell you, they're a lot cooler. Must be honest. Like the old Tuckers, obviously, are like the coolest things ever. And hopefully, with this whole down like stock market and everything, maybe people are going to start selling their old Tuckers. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, right. So I actually found something where it's an article where they're talking about Renner and his snowcat.
Oh, really?
So from his own Instagram account, it reads that he was constructing a sledding course for his kids in the Nevada snow around his home in Washoe County and purchased the old snowcat to ensure they didn't have to settle for sledding down some regular unprepared hill.
God damn. That's pretty awesome.
They're saying it's likely a PB 240D.
All right, that's a smaller one.
Or like the Piston Bully 200.
All right. So that isn't like the big monster 400 or 600s.
Yeah, that's the word on the street.
Okay. Still, no joke. Serious machine.
Yeah.
So he probably dropped, I don't know, what are we saying? 100,000?
Wait, I'm looking
150?
at it now. Let's see, the PB. Yeah, it's a 1989.
Oh, an 89. All right. So he probably that's probably under 30,000 then. So why are you so freaking cheap, Jeremy Renner? You can go buy a brand new one.
Yeah.
You should have gotten one with brakes, a parking brake.
Yeah, right. Maybe you should have gotten a brand new one and it wouldn't run your ass over.
Well, if there would have been another goddamn Avengers movie because of the stupid pandemic, I couldn't afford a new piston bully.
Yeah, right. Well, Hawkeye, maybe you would have seen it or heard the fact that you missed to jump in the seat.
Should have got that Hulk roll, man.
That's actually, I've had like, that's always been a fear. Like if you're working under a car, like I don't think a lot of people work under cars anymore, but back in the day when I was working under cars, like that would always bother me. I'm like, I want to get under here. If that brake goes, this car's running over me.
Yeah.
You're going to be under there changing the oil and all of a sudden crushed.
It's true. Like a bug. All right. So here's an 88 for 15,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
An 88 piston bully 240D.
I wonder if you won a card game.
15 grand.
Right?
Yep. So
think about the Mega Millions this week. I'm gonna get my own little ski run with piston bully and my own lift.
There you go. In Florida?
In Florida. Oh no, it's gonna be out west.
Aspen?
Nope. Nope.
Not even telling us where it's gonna be. It's private.
It's gonna be private, super secret club.
There you go.
Be better than more fabulous than any club ever.
We should, what we should do? You should join the Yellowstone Club, and we should do like a Caddyshack. Like we should Caddyshack the Yellowstone Club.
That would be, it'd be nice to buy like land right next to the Yellowstone Club and set up like just a total like the McDowell's of.
Yeah, right. Called like the Jellystone Club.
The Jellystone Club. Have like the bear and shit like that.
Yeah,
like
right now, right?
just kind of get prepared to get sued by every marketing thing.
Or you can go full psychopath and you could just get a place next to the Yellowstone Club and just start like releasing wild animals into the Yellowstone Club, like wolves and perhaps
wolf preserve.
tigers.
Yeah, like a wolf preserve. Just like let them.
This is the Yellowstone Club Wolf Preserve. Like occasionally they get out and they're hungry.
Like that goddamn guy keeps breeding these wolves.
Like get some
trying
of
to
those,
breed them bigger. Trying to get a wolf and a buffalo.
Like snow leopards. A couple of those running around the old Yellowstone Club.
This secret like evil lab just to get the Yellowstone
Keeps
Club.
Justin Timberlake on his toes when he's out there.
Dude, I'm telling you, a wolf and a buffalo, you get those two together, you get a buffalo wolf. That's a dire wolf. It's going around eating like whole families at a time.
It's a woofalo.
Woofalo.
I like it.
You know, the meat from that thing would be great.
Delicious.
It'd be fast and delicious. Fast, ferocious, and delicious.
McWoofalos.
That's right.
It's like the McRib, but a little more protein.
Yeah, what would you eat on a wolf? I don't even know.
Everything. Wow. All the organs. Organs are delicious. Is it too close to a dog to enjoy, though? There's a story about some lady thinking she was like there was a wolf on her property, but it was actually a husky, and she shot it.
That could be, yeah.
That's the problem with the wolf. The buffalo, it's kind of a what they call that?
A pet buffalo. A few pet buffalo.
A few pet buffalo.
Yeah, just like running around like the neighbors would be like, Mario, get your goddamn buffalo off of my land.
Like Christmas Story, like the Bumpus's dogs.
This thing would just be like out there trampling people's like yard, cars, like whatever they got in the driveway. It's just squished.
And Corky didn't stand a chance.
They ate it.
Yeah.
They got like the little faces that are just like eating a lot of grass.
So Jeremy, get better. Get back out there. Find another snowcat. Get a better one this time. A little fancier one.
Yeah. I think you deserve it at this point.
You are. You worked hard. You were Hawkeye. You actually had to have a bow and arrow when your teammate was the Hulk. I mean, come on.
And Thor.
A little outgunned.
That's tough to do.
You're a little Iron Man. I mean, you're outgunned from the start.
Exactly.
But anyway, since we're in Tahoe, we might as well stay there for at least one happy story.
Oh, here we go.
So Palisades, Tahoe, which used to be called Valley.
I'm going to say it used to be formerly known as...
Don't you dare say that word. I will be triggered. 32 inches of snow in 24 hours. So this is from the blog at Palisades, Tahoe. What an awesome way to start 2023. Across all of our elevations, we received more than 32 inches of snow. This storm has been an absolute whirlwind. There were moments when we thought it was going to be all rain, but snow levels dropped early yesterday morning, and our snow levels have obliterated any projections. 32 inches is what we reported in the Palisades base area. So the higher you go up, the deeper it gets. At one point, it was snowing 7 inches per hour yesterday evening. This storm set a record for our mountains as the most snow ever recorded in a 12-hour period. We were able to get quite a few lifts open today, and we're adding even more to the schedule tomorrow ahead of another storm. So they're about to get pounded with a few more feet of snow this upcoming weekend. While in the Northeast, it's basically 60 degrees here. So
it'd be funny if they put out all their media and it had like they try to make it like funny and it just like totally fall on its face if they tried to put in like an Indian theme on the whole thing, like we make them big snow, that kind of stuff, and it would just kind of go against them changing their name.
Like only if we had as much wampum as we have snow, we'd be in business.
Exactly. The rainmakers are out there doing the rain dance.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Terrible.
Don't know if that would work.
Yeah, they're showing pictures here. And it's one of those things where it's almost up to the lift. The snow is almost as high as the bottom of the chairlift. They're showing the some groomer pictures. The groomers are all buried. Here's one picture where the snow is actually covering the chair.
Damn.
In a couple spots. This snowcat is just buried. I don't even know how you even get into the thing at this point. The base to base gondola, just tons of snow. I mean, it looks it looks pretty epic. So if you were out there, your timing was absolutely wonderful. And it was a great time. But at the same token, because of all the weather and the harshness of it, their pals around the other side of Lake Tahoe over at Heavenly, they had some issues.
They had some issues indeed.
Yes, this was posted on the 2nd, and they were like, it was a difficult day again, specifically when it came to shuttles and getting our guests to the California side of Heavenly. This was a result of not having the gondola or Nevada side open due to the ongoing power outage. With great skiing conditions and an uptick in holiday visitors, traffic and gridlock became an issue quickly this morning. While we had 8 shuttles running to transport guests to and from Heavenly Village, we had to suspend these operations around 11 and allow traffic to clear up. In the afternoon, we were able to reopen additional parking at California Main Lodge, which alleviated some of the problem. Thanks to the continued hard work by our teams, we did get Canyon Express open to allow for a slightly larger footprint than yesterday. Sky was one of our main focuses all day as well. The rime ice at the top of Sky is as bad as some 30-year staff members have ever seen.
Wow.
We also had teams working on Nevada lifts to prepare them for opening as soon as power lines and outages are repaired.
So it turned into the East Coast for one day, and they're saying it was the worst in 30 years.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's like a powder day at Killington right there.
Yeah, so they got pummeled with snow, but they also had some incidences, and yeah, it's better than having 60 degrees and no snow and rain. So
that could be the opposite, right?
Yeah, it's been very, very different. A tale of 2 different winters on the East Coast and West Coast this year. So hopefully we get some more snow on the East Coast. And Mario, since you are heading over to Europe, we got one other fun little story to end our somber ski news.
So so to kick off my trip over to France, I'm going to see for myself. This French ski resort bans smoking, which is the first to be tobacco-free in Europe. And anybody that's been to Europe knows they smoke a lot over there and everywhere. So the ski area of Les Guettes is now officially tobacco-free, first in Europe. Although tobacco-free ski areas have existed for several years in North America, Japan, and New Zealand, Les Guettes' approach is a first in all of Europe. So smoking is now prohibited in the entire communal area, both on the ski lifts and on the slopes. Only 5 smoking areas will be set up for those who still wish to take a cigarette break. So they want to showcase the clean air of the mountain and just being outside. So that's why they push to do this. But they're saying that more than 3,000 cigarette butts are collected annually on the Les Guettes ski area, each representing 150 substances that are toxic to the environment, nearly 4,000 pollutants, and up to 300 liters of polluted water are in 10 to 15 years, taking a breakdown. So there's a lot that they've thought into this, and they've decided to do it. So pretty interesting. I imagine it's not going to be the first one, right? It's not going to be the last one.
Yeah, it's one of those things. As soon as this starts, it's just not going to stop.
Yeah.
It's just gonna. This is just the opening track, I think, of the album. That is the removal of cigarettes from all European ski areas.
Yeah, right. I remember the first time we went to Europe, and it was, they started doing the the no smoking in public areas here. And as we kept going to Europe, over and over, like, you really notice now how much it was like, taking a time machine back in time when people were smoking inside still. It's crazy.
It's funny too, watching like old movies, and you see people like smoking on airplanes.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy. And that was the dumbest thing ever, because it's like
you're right
non-smoking section, smoking section.
Yeah.
There's a great, I was actually just listening to a Joe Rogan podcast, and he had on a clip talking about that. They're talking about Bertram Russell. And he was an intellectual and a brilliant guy, and he was a big smoker, and he was in his, I forget, he was pretty old when he died. And he's like, actually, at one point, he's like, I was on a plane and I was supposed to be in first class, but I wanted to smoke, so I lit one up, and they moved back to the smoking section. The plane crashed, and the whole non-smoking section died, and all the smokers were okay. She's like, so smoking actually saved my life.
Yeah. Look at that.
Fuck about and find out, right?
That's what happens.
Yeah. You just you don't know. You don't know. You can't follow every rule. You can't be afraid of everything. You can't not follow every rule. You just got to pick your battles, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The world's a complex place. We're complicated people. Everything's, you think you know something, a lot of times you don't know the whole story. So
yeah, and smoking's good for you, smoking's bad for you. It depends who's doing the study. You know how it goes.
We're all just figuring this out together, guys. People, things.
We'll figure it out in number 300 that's coming up.
We got 300 coming up. Yeah, this is 299. We don't have a main topic. It was really kind of a focus on all of our ski news stories this week. They were the most important thing. A lot of really, somber, sad, but informative and important stories that we were talking about. But Mario, you're heading out for Europe. Let's give a little quick recap. Where are you going exactly?
So I will be going to Val Thorens to Club Med. Going to be skiing there, guide the whole week, and drinking my face off. Looking to get the hell out of here because work's been really rough. So it'll be nice to get away, be able to ski, reset. It'll be fun.
So if any stalkers are looking for Mario, Val Thorens, Club Med, you know what he looks like. You're watching this podcast right now. You can find him. He doesn't hide.
Yeah, I'll say hi. We'll drink together.
La Folle Deuce. Are you gonna be that? We're gonna be at most times at Après.
You know what? I want to go there at least one day, so we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna have to happen one day at least. That, and I want to do the zip line again. My wife wants to do the zip line.
Can you wear your skis and backflip out of the zip line onto the slopes?
No, but you actually take it peak to peak with your skis attached to you behind you, and you zip line like it's almost 2 miles. It's like one of the longest in Europe.
And you jump off and start skiing again?
And then you start skiing again, yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. So is there anything else that you kind of have on your list of things you got to hit while you were there?
It's just going to be skiing. Definitely want to do the Folle Deuce and the zip line. Don't know about the ice driving because they have the driving on the lake. And they have everything they have like multiple different ways. Like you could do go-karts all the way up to like actual cars just zipping around. So depending on how much you want to pay, of course.
So you could do like a Lamborghini if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I think they have more. It's like a rally car they have.
Oh, that's cool.
So they're pretty cool. Like they're and you slide around. I mean, it's like a big course. They have like, the little one, almost like a go-kart track. And that's like the smallest one. And then they go up from there to like some serious rides.
And they got some pretty hardcore snow tubing, it looks like.
Yeah. I'm not thinking I'm going to do snow tubing.
Once you've done the death sleds, right? You kind of,
my wife saw the death sleds on there. So I don't know if they're the same. They don't look as dangerous. So I'm kind of like, those aren't the real ones that you want to do. The ones we did in Ishgil were
you were bleeding afterwards.
I took a chunk out of my leg. Yeah.
Oh, that was rough.
Chick ran into me and that was it. I hit him.
Yeah. If you don't know about the death sleds, just go on YouTube and watch some of those videos. I mean, they give you like these, they're not, would you call them ghetto sleds? They're just sort of.
They're just, you're going down a ski mountain on a simple sled and there's no way to stop. You're going to get too fast and you're just going to crash into stuff. That's really what they're designed to do.
You do it at night.
Yeah.
You do it at night and no one's really sober.
Yeah.
And there's not really any sort of safety protocols. Bunches of whatever, depending on what European town you're in. It's somebody smoking, just handing you a sled. And there's like, just go.
Just go. How do you work these? You put it on the thing and you go. That's it.
Like, Figure it out.
That's right.
What are you, stupid American?
Craziness.
Yeah.
Crazy. I think I
So-
did it. So when I did them again when I was with the club in Cortina, and for some reason they did it like the first night we were there or the second night we were there. So of course you do the test sleds. One person broke their wrist. Another person like scraped up their face because they weren't wearing their helmet because they're a dipshit. It was just bad, and I was like, and then it kind of ruined the trip for them. And I was like, yeah, why would we do that on the first day? You know, after the first day of skiing, just kind of weird. But that one everybody partied up pretty hard, and the ski club they can hold their
It's
own.
a drinking club that likes the snow.
That likes the snow, and so we get ready. They come to pick us up at the hotel, and they take us up on these snowmobiles. It was pretty cool, van and then snowmobile up the mountain, and they shuttle a few groups up, and there's about 12 of us, maybe more. And they shuttle us up to like a little warming hut up there. And it's like, oh, everything was nice and all. And they're like, yeah, we have like grappa and wine for you guys. We're like, oh, we're not just going. We thought like you just pick us up and you go. And like, no, we drink for a little bit. So we
You're
drank
gonna do
more.
this sober, I assure you.
Yeah. So we drank even more. It was just bizarre. I was like, I can't believe you're giving us like grappa and all this other stuff before you take us sledding at night with no lights.
Yeah, if you're a serious skier or snowboarder and you have not been to the Alps, make it a priority in the next short period of time, because I mean it's the birthplace of alpine skiing. The vibe there is so different.
It's unlike anything in the US.
It's
a cultural thing. Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, I remember first time we went with the ski club to Zermatt, and I mean, I wish I had gone a couple years later, because I think I would have appreciated it more.
Yeah.
Because would have been a better skier, would have had couple more miles under my belt around going to places in North America. But it's otherworldly. I mean, it's like those snow globes that you see. It has like a little village in there. Like that's what it is. Zermatt specifically, there's no cars there. There's just little electric taxis and horses and there's Matterhorn. And
I gotta say that's a special place.
Oh my God. I always think about that champagne bar too.
Yep. The little champagne bar.
We're talking about the sleds, and I guess they must start them a little bit earlier over there.
Yeah.
There was this, because in Europe, the last runs that come off the mountain, they all have bars along them.
Yeah.
So it's not like you go and you get off your boots and your skis and then you go meandering over to your bar. Like the bar is there. I mean, it's slope side. And it's funny that first day we were there, we ended up splitting apart. You were with Andrea. I was with our buddy Mike. Again, people you meet on a trip, you become best friends for a week and you never see him again. Like,
yeah, that's how it is.
Thing. Napoleon Dynamite. That's what we called him.
That's right.
I remember. So him and I were out skiing for a bit. You guys were like, oh, we're going to go and head down. And amazingly, we just ended up going on the same trail. And you guys had stopped and were having a drink. And we came down and we're like, whoa, what is this place? And you guys were yelling. And we're like, oh my God, like you guys are here. Like, this is amazing. And it was just this, there was heat lamps. There was bales of hay you sat on, but it was
like a little hut too on the side. And they had, they had furs, like they had fur things lining,
like animal pelts, pretty much
animal pelts and chairs, and they gave you blankets. Like it was magical. And we're just sitting out there having champagne, beautiful looking. Everybody that was going by, that was flying by, was like almost stopping, saying, "What the hell is going on here?"
Wasn't the bartender from like Costa Rica or something?
Yeah, she was from or it might have been, Costa Rica, I think.
I have a couple pictures. I'm looking at my phone. Oh, check it out. So if you're watching the YouTube video, this is me and Andrea at the champagne bar. See, it's that same Vuvu Collect, whatever it's called.
Vuvu, yeah. And I'm actually, I think I'm across the ski run taking that picture.
Yes. And this is actually an awesome picture because you can actually see
Yeah.
this is the
Riding right
trail.
by.
There's the trail. People are skiing, people are sledding, and the bar is right there.
Yeah.
And you could be on the other side from where the actual champagne bar was. Just people, I think that's where you guys were sitting kind of up there,
Yeah.
kind of taking it
Because we
all
were
in.
watching for you guys.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh my God. Like I'm getting goosebumps like thinking about this place because it was like unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Like, it was
It was
so
a different
cool.
world. It was, yeah.
I mean,
And I gotta say,
absolutely epic.
Zermatt was, the night scene was better than some of the others. Like Ishko was like just party puke and just all dudes, and like Zermatt was like a real town. It was kind of nice.
And the best thing was there was another bar that we stopped at along that same trail before we got off the mountain. And here is the view from that place. Look, you can see the Matterhorn in the background. I mean, come
That's
on,
nice.
man.
That's
Come on,
the little
man.
town right there spilling into the valley.
It was just unlike anything.
Then there's the all the different technology they have in Europe is amazing too.
Like the different kinds of
The lift, the
lifts,
trams, the
inclinators,
everything.
and that subway thing. Is that what
Yeah.
it's called? It wasn't
Funicular.
Funicular. That's it. Inclinator is what they call the hotel, the Luxor. Those weird
Oh yeah.
kind of like the inclinators that go up the sides of the inside the pyramid.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's about, and the train, the cog train. I mean, that's the coolest thing ever.
Gornagrat, right?
The Gornagrat train. Yeah, it's a train. It's got the cogs, and that was your chairlift every morning.
Yeah.
We would walk from the hotel. We would go to the train station. We'd pick up the train, and up the
it
mountain
was-
you went. And you took it once a day. It's all you had to do because there was so many other lifts. You never went down to the bottom again.
Yep.
What's the vertical? Is it like 7,000 or something? That's Zermatt.
I don't know. Let's see.
Maybe it's not that high, but it's like over 5. That's for sure. Like way over.
They're saying 7,477 feet of vertical.
All right, so
drop.
I was close then. Yeah,
Yeah.
7,000 feet of vertical.
It was just massive. You're just skiing. You're like, I'm never ending. I'm just out in the wilderness for all day skiing. It's great.
Yeah. It's unlike anything. And lift tickets are not expensive. That's the crazy thing.
Oh yeah.
Was it like 400 Swiss francs for the week, pretty much?
Yeah, something
With the
like
insurance.
that. Yeah, with the insurance. If that. I don't know if it was even that much, but yeah, it was definitely.
It's just different world, man. You know what? If you got to dip into your 401k, do it because you're going to be old and you're going to be crapping your pants. And it's not going to matter anywhere.
You're going to say, hey, I have the time and the money to go skiing now. And it's like, yeah, but you're not in any shape to ski. You want to do when you can.
Do it now.
Just do it
Go.
now.
It's
Just do
awesome.
it.
All right. Well, I guess that on those sage words of wisdom.
I will be taking pictures and posting a ton of stuff. So check out Instagram.
Yes. So follow us at Ski Bum Podcast. Perfect way to end this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Again, follow. You can see some beautiful French. Is it bordering Switzerland?
No,
or
this is all France.
It's all
Don't
France,
have to carry
baby.
my passport this time. You're not going to another country.
All France, all the time. Val Thorens,
The Three Valleys.
Club Med,
So
Three
it's
Valleys.
Val Thorens, Maribel, and Courchevel.
Yeah.
So we'll be skiing all those.
So Mario is going to be making you jealous on the gram. So check it out at Ski Bum Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. They'll probably get over there somehow. Usually you post it on Instagram, it goes to the other ones.
Right. Gets out there.
On YouTube, eventually we'll have videos. Maybe. We'll see. Also at Ski Bum Podcast, send us an email. If you have tips for Mario,
Yeah.
I want to just say hi. Welcome. Hi from, I don't know, where are you? Michigan, Montana, Minnesota?
Wherever you at.
Ski Bum Podcast at
New Hampshire,
gmail.com.
Vermont.
Wherever you're from. Scott at the shop, skibumpodcast.com/shop. Maybe you got crappy Christmas presents. You want to treat yourself and get one of these. Still got a couple of these left. I got like 2 or 3 more.
Go
Red
return all
boots.
that Christmas stuff and buy some ski bump stuff.
If your phone blew up and your hat blew up and you need a new hat, this actually happened to our boy Scooter. It happened. Just sent him out a new one. Skibumpodcast.com/shop. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Stay high, stay fluting.
See ya.